everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for this week's reading vlog, I have decided that I want to read the highest and lowest rated books on my physical TBR. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I have a shelf on my Goodreads with every single book on my physical TBR. And I'm going to put a screen recording up on the screen here and let's go into it. So I currently have 82 books on my physical TBR, which is really good because at this point last year, I think I had like close to 200. So I'm going to change it from date added to average rating, and whatever comes up at the top first, whether it's like the highest or the lowest, then we'll go that way. So average rating. Okay, so it looks like it is showing the highest first. So I can't do the actual highest book on my physical TBR because that is Sunrise on the Reaping, and I really want to read A Ballad of Songbird and Snake first. And then the next one is Clockwork Princess, which is book number 3 in the Infernal Devices series. So I can't read that one either because I haven't started that series. But the next one that I can do is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, which is book 2 in the Crescent City series. I read book 1 last month and I absolutely adored it. So that is my highest rated. Now let's reverse it and see what the lowest rated on my TBR is. Okay, so the lowest rated book on my TBR is Close Protection by Eden Victoria. This is a very recent purchase actually. So I'm looking forward to reading it, but who knows, I might be in the percentage of people who actually enjoy it, but who knows. So yeah, those are the 2 books that we will be reading for this week's reading vlog. So let's see if I can find the books first, because my room is currently a bit of a mess because I'm in the process of moving everything around in my room. So yeah, let me go and look for my, I know where my copy of House of Sky and Breath is, but I don't know where my copy of Close Protection is because it's in one of my bags. So let me go and have a look and grab both my books. Okay, that took an annoyingly long time to find them. Well, this one was easy because this was in my TBR basket, but this one was buried in the many bags of books that I currently have on my floor. I really need to get my bookshelf sorted out because having my books just in bags is really stressful for me. But I'll hopefully get it sorted this week, but yes. These are the 2 books I'm reading this week. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with. I'll have a think about it and then I will update once I have started one of these books. Okay, so last night I made a start on Close Protection by Eden Victoria, and I am currently 104 pages in, which is around about the 25% mark. And it's not a bad book. Within itself, it's not a bad book. It's very easy to read, and it's got its funny moments and stuff like that. But I will say it has made me cringe quite a few times already, and I'm only, like I said, 25% in. The main character, Daphne, kind of makes me cringe a little bit with how she acts and stuff. And the guy is just kind of like your stereotypical book talk guy. And just the amount of times they've sniffed each other within the first couple of like chapters is kind of gross. Like, I'm literally on chapter 12. They've only known each other for like a day and a half, and they're basically already kind of like a little bit infatuated with each other. Like on chapter 4, if I can find it, this happens in chapter 4. Now, bear in mind, at this point, they'd only known each other for 2 minutes, and this chapter is from the guy's POV. So the guy's called Milos, and this is one of his thoughts. A crazy part of me wants to run my thumb across her plump bottom lip, just to see if it's as soft as it looks, but I hold off and settle for slipping the key into another pocket, keeping my hand there to prevent myself from doing something stupid. Now, bear in mind, they've only known each other for 2 hours at this point, and he doesn't even know anything about her. And I'm like, okay, but that's fine. Maybe people can have like an instant attraction to each other. But then there was another quote, and basically, Milos has woken up Daphne like really early in the morning, and he says, "Now or never, Miss Green." He starts heading towards the door. "Be outside in 16 minutes, he finishes, before promptly walking out of my room. "All right, Troy Bolton, calm down," I mumbled, dragging myself out of bed to throw on some clothes. First of all, I was not expecting a Troy Bolton High School Musical reference in a book that was literally published this year. Like, I love High School Musical, but I was just not expecting a High School Musical reference in this book when I started reading it. But you know, I'm only 100 pages in, so I can't definitively say whether I like this book or not. It's not a bad book within itself. I think it's just quite a cringy story as of right now. So yeah, I am going to carry on reading in a little bit. I'm hoping to maybe try and get to like the halfway point today. Like, it took me only like an hour and a half to get to page 104 because it is such a quick read, which is pretty impressive for me because I normally read very slowly, especially when I'm reading the book physically. So yeah, I'm going to relax for a little bit and carry on watching Wizards of Waverly Place for now, and then I'm going to get more of this read, and then I will update when I'm at the halfway point. So this video, with the way I've filmed it, has ended up being a little bit different to how I normally film it. Now, normally I finish reading one book before I go on to my next one, but that didn't happen with this video because, I'm not gonna lie, I had every intention of DNFing this book. I even filmed a clip of myself saying I was DNFing it, but I added it to my reading goal after I DNF'd it, and then my little squirrel brain didn't like that fact, so I forced myself to finish it. So I guess you could say I soft DNF'd this for a while. So like I said, I filmed an entire clip talking about why I DNF'd this book, and all of my opinions from that clip still stand. So I'm going to go over them again now that I have actually finished the book. But I did also make a start on this one, which I'll talk about in a minute. So, in the end, for Close Protection by Eden Victoria, I ended up giving this a 1 star, and I can very much tell why this was the lowest rated book on my physical TBR. I will actually read out what I put in my review for you. So let me just quickly find it. Now, I didn't like this book because I don't normally review books. Like, I will give my rating and stuff, but I don't normally say my feelings unless it's a book I really, really love. Or in this case, one that I really, really don't like. So I really wanted to like this book. I did. It looked so pretty, but I genuinely just couldn't like it. If you looked up cringe in the dictionary, you would see this book. It's a big note from me. Now, not exactly the most, like, descriptive review, but it's how I felt by the end of this book, and I will now explain to you why. Okay, so this book, it follows Daphne, who is the daughter of a very rich and like powerful CEO named George Green, and the love interest of the story is her bodyguard, who is called Milos Petrov. And I was really excited about the idea of this story. I love a bodyguard romance. I've read 2 so far. I read Twisted Games by Anna Huang, which I absolutely adored and gave 5 stars. And I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, where the roles were reversed. It was a female bodyguard in that one, and I gave that one 3 stars. It's very fun, it's very cute, and it's like a very enjoyable read. Whereas with this one, this story was just very cringy, and it was very cliche, and it just felt like every book talk trope that you could think of was shoved into the story. So within the like first couple of chapters of this book, they were already basically obsessed with each other. They like, I understand like feeling like an instant attraction to someone, but the way that these characters' emotions were described throughout their POVs, it was like they were already infatuated with the other person from like the second they met. And just as the story continued on, that infatuation just continued and it got worse. And if I had to hear them describing each other's scent and just hear them about them sniffing each other one more time, I think I was actually going to throw up. Like, I don't mind if they talk about someone's scent, like, for example, like when they first meet someone, or like when like they're like doing certain things. That's fine. But in this book, it just felt like every opportunity they had where they were stood nearer to each other, they were like, their intoxicating scent, her scent of this and this and this, his scent of this and this. And I'm like, please shut up. I don't care how he smells. And like the fact that this book is getting a sequel, I do not really understand. This book had a beginning and a middle and an end. No matter what my personal opinions on those beginning, middle, and end are, this book does not need a sequel. It had you knew what was happening at the beginning of the story. You knew it had an ending. It had an epilogue and everything. And yes, I know series can have interconnected standalones and everything, but it was just very like cliche, and just like, if you're looking for something that's very, very easy to read and something that I guess like you would call it a bit of a palate cleanser and you don't mind a bit of cringe, then sure, pick this book up. I just personally wasn't a fan, and like the majority of the story had this big build up to this specific thing that was happening in the book, and I'm not going to say what it is, because like I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who does want to read this book, but like it had this big build up, and then when this thing actually happened, it was here and then it ended and that was it. No proper explanation or anything. Like, it explained why, but like it felt so rushed and it was so anticlimactic that I was frankly just very much let down. Since finishing this book earlier today, I've been swapping between whether I think it's a 1 star or a 1.5. But considering the fact that I have way more negative things to say about this book than I do positive things, I think I'm going to stick to my 1 star review. Which I hate because I never want to have to give a book a 1 star. But that's what this book is to me. It's a 1 star. The characters annoyed me. Like, the way they switched up with like when they were even together by the end of the book, like the nicknames, like he would go from, like, even before they were together, he would go from calling her baby and being really sweet and acting like a boyfriend to the next second calling her Miss Green, and her calling him, like, sometimes she would call him Milo, or Milosh, and then most of the time that she would call him Mr. Petrov. And then by the end of the book, even when they were a couple and it was like the epilogue and it was 5 years later, she was still calling him Mr. Petrov and he was still calling her Miss Green. And I'm like, you're literally dating, just call each other by your names. I don't know. Not a fan. I personally am selling this book now. It's on my Vinted. But if people want to read it, I'd say give it a go. Give your own opinions. Don't let my view on it change it. Like, I know there's some books that I love that other people don't love. For example, I love the Lightlark series. Wasn't the biggest fan of the third book, but that's a different point. I love the first 2 books in that series. I personally think they're great. I know a lot of other people don't enjoy it, but that's just my personal opinion on this book. It's a 1 star for me, and it's going to be gone as soon as someone buys it off my Vinted. But yeah, no, a couple of days ago when I was, you know, contemplating completely DNFing Close Protection, honestly the only way I finished this book is because I listened to the last half of it on audiobook, which literally took me like an hour because it's that fast of a read. And I also listen to audiobooks on, like, I think I listened to it on like 3 times speed. But anyway, I made a start on House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, and I'm really, really enjoying this so far. So I'm currently on page 149, which is chapter 13. The plot in this story, like, the prologue itself was 21 pages. I've never read a 21-page prologue before, and I don't think, like, I enjoyed it, but I was just like, why is this prologue 21 pages? I've never seen a prologue be that long. But I'm really enjoying the story so far. I love these characters already. I can't really give much information about what's happening because this is the second book in a series. And to talk properly about anything that's happening in here, it would mean that I have to spoil stuff from the first book. And I don't want to do that because I don't like spoiling books for people. But basically, at the start of this book, it's I think it's a couple of weeks or months since the events at the end of the first book. Okay, as I was saying before, I got rudely cut off by my camera. Anyway, yeah, after the prologue, the book starts basically a few months after the events of the end of book 1. And we're just following the characters kind of at the moment, kind of just following the characters during their everyday life and things that are going on. And little things have been slowly happening and it's slowly starting to pick up a little bit more. I'm still really enjoying this. I know a lot of people think the book at the start of this book is very slow, and I do admit it is a little bit slow, but I'm also having the time of my life because I just kind of love seeing little day-to-day stuff with my favorite characters, and I absolutely adore the characters in this series. So yeah, like I said, I'm currently on page 149, which is chapter 13, and I'm loving the characters, I'm loving the banter, I'm just loving the story and everything to do with it. I read quite a bit of this earlier today. Basically, I read more of this, then I decided to go back and finish Close Protection, and then I slept for most of the day because, insomnia and messed up sleep schedules is fun. And now I'm currently watching The Fosters on my laptop, as it's one of my favourite shows. I've watched it loads of times before. I really enjoyed it. I was watching The Fosters when it was still coming out. So yeah, I'm going to continue watching that for now. But yeah, no, this book is really good and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'll give more of an update by the halfway point, and if there's any quotes or anything that I like that I want to, talk about, then I will probably put a little bit of a tab in my book or something. But yeah, that is all my update for now. I'm hopefully going to finish this book within the next 2 days. I'm literally I'm not even that far. I don't even think I'm a quarter of the way in yet. But I need to finish reading this because I have another reading vlog that I need to start filming soon. But yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this in the next couple of days. I think it's currently Friday. Yeah, Friday. So I have the weekend to finish this and I've got no plans. So, well, apart from having to organise my bookshelves, because currently my books are looking very, very sad, because they're not on any shelves or anything, but you know, that is a task I will do later. But yeah, that is my update for now. I will speak to you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's been quite a while since I updated you guys, and that is because I've not really read all that much in the last few days. Like, I've gotten further into the book. I am now, like, over halfway through, but I'm just, like... First of all, for the first couple of 100 pages, basically nothing happened. It was, like, them just, like, daily life shit. And it's now slowly starting to pick up, but I'm struggling to read, because... I read one of the most phenomenal books ever when I finished Releasing 10. And then I had one of the worst books ever with Close Protection. And now I'm on to another amazing book with a series that I'm loving reading. But currently, I am struggling to have the energy to pick up a book to read. And I just really want to read this, but it's taking everything in me to do it. Like, the first couple hundred pages of this book, basically nothing happened. It's like just like them daily life, and like the first bit was kind of boring. At the moment it's looking at being like a 4-star, but I've still got like 400 pages, well, like 350 pages to go with this book, so I'm holding out judgment, because, you know, it could end up being a 5-star like the last one. But yeah, I really need to get this finished in the next couple of days, so I'm doing a bit of admin stuff at the moment for my YouTube channel. I need to get some videos edited because I did some filming today. And I need to edit the video that's going up next Friday and get it scheduled on YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to do that and get my editing done, because I need to get that done before I do anything else, because otherwise the videos won't get edited for a long time, and I'll edit them at like 5 in the morning on the day that it's supposed to be uploaded. And yeah, then I am going to try and finish this. I've got like 4.5 hours left of the audiobook. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my admin stuff done, then I'm going to listen to like 2 hours of the audiobook, and then I will listen to the last 2 hours of it tomorrow, and then hopefully that means I can get this book finished. And also tomorrow I will be going back to my normal crusty nails, because these are severely outgrown and I'm not getting a new set yet. I don't want to like constantly have them, because it was fun. I liked having the pretty nails, but honestly they're getting on my nerves now. So when I update you tomorrow, these beauties will be gone, and I will just have my normal crusty nails again. But you know what, it's fine. I will get my nails done probably in November before I go to Norway. But yeah, that is the update for now. I will do what I need to do, and then I will read in a bit, and then I'll update tomorrow. Okay, so it's currently 10:38 in the evening, and I have an hour and 17 minutes left of House of Sky and Breath. So I'm going to listen to the last hour and 17 minutes of this, and then I will give you all my full opinions and thoughts and review of this book. I know I look a mess, okay? But if I can deal with it, so can you guys. I have officially finished reading House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. And with me finishing that, that is officially the end of this video. So let's just do a little bit of a rundown of the 2 books that I read, I'm not gonna lie, over the last 2 weeks, because I'm in a reading slump. So we started the week with my lowest rated book on my physical TBR, and I can see why it's the lowest rated book. Let's just say I've already said my piece on this. I think I literally spoke for like a solid 10 minutes about this. This book was just the definition of cringe. I really didn't like it. I didn't like the characters. The plot was rushed. It was either like really rushed in some places or really dragged out in other places. And I just wasn't a fan. And I can definitely see why this was the lowest book on my TBR. And now that I've read it, it's up on my Vinted. And no one's bought it yet, and it's been up on my Vinted for over a week. So I think even people on Vinted they don't want to read this. And then obviously I just finished reading House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. I did enjoy this book. I love these characters, I love this world, I love the story, and the end of this book just gave me so much joy because I got to see specific characters. If you know, you know. But to me, this book wasn't as good as the first one. Like, the first book had me gripped from the start, and I really loved the first book. Whereas with this one, for like the first like 200 and something pages, it was very slow. It was very much like day-to-day life stuff. Not much really happened, and it didn't really pick up even a little bit until like the halfway point, and then a load of stuff started happening, and I really enjoyed this book, and and the ending of this book really made me excited to read the last one in this series. But this one just wasn't as good as the first one to me. It was still really good, and I still really enjoyed it. But yeah, I just think that I wasn't the biggest fan. I can see why this is one of the higher rated books on my physical TBR. Obviously I couldn't read the highest rated book on my physical TBR because that was like the second or third in a series, and I didn't want to have to read like 2 books just to get to that one. So I just went with the like one that I actually could go with. But you know, I enjoyed this. I had a fun time reading it, but it's not the best SJM book I've ever read. But yeah, still a very enjoyable read. I had a fun time with it, and I'm looking forward to carrying on with the series. But I think I'm going to take a break for a little while with the Crescent City series, just because the books are so thick, and like it's just very much just a lot of information. But yeah, no, that is that. I can't really give much of a review on that one, because like it's the second in a series, so I don't really want to spoil anything in it for anyone, because a lot of the stuff that happens in this one follows the event of the first book in the series. So yeah, but that is officially it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell below so you know when I upload. I upload every Friday at 6 p.m. and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. with a reading vlog. If you want to find me anywhere else, all my stuff is linked in the description below. There's my Goodreads, my Instagram, everything like that, my TikTok. But you know, that's it for today. I will catch you guys next time.